ago, maybe more, ChatGPT got an upgrade where they gave it memory, and it's able now to remember something that you told it before.
Mhm.
And this was a game changer for the app because even in the book, in My Big Toe, he talks about the requirements for consciousness. One of them is memory. You have to have memory to be conscious. That's part of what gives us, our essence,
Mhm.
is me remembering that I've met you before, things that I've done before. Without that memory, it's almost, like dementia patients. Their personality is completely different. Their consciousness is different without memory.
Mhm.
And so when ChatGPT got the memory upgrade, I really dove into it deep because now I started having really deep conversations with it, and it started to understand me better.
Mhm.
And so the way that the music came out was crazy. I have these different threads. One, I'm writing a book. The other one's like a D&D campaign, and I talk with ChatGPT and I get ideas, and it's almost like it's real, right? um,
Yeah.
So one of the threads was my gamer tag on video games. I love video games.
Uh-huh.
And my gamer tag for a long time and my Instagram tag was Jew of War. It was like a play off of the God of War franchise, the video game.
Mhm.
Um, but interestingly enough, meeting people like you have heritage in the Middle East, and having students that were from Palestine and stuff like that, like really broadening my horizons. I started to get convicted about that name, and I was like, oh man, like it was funny when I was 20, you know, but I think it's time to move on. And so my Instagram, I just changed to Coach Mark, but I had this long conversation with ChatGPT about what's my new video game tag going to be, right? 'Cause I was Jew of War for so many years, and so we had this long conversation, and we ended up picking Omega on deck. Um, so I love X-Men. Kind of took from like Omega mutants and like a deck of cards, but it's got deeper meanings, right? And we're developing it's turned into a whole character.
Uh-huh.
But that's what I'm releasing the music under is the video game tag, right? Omega on deck,
I see.
which to me, like Omega can be like your last lifetime, your last cycle, um, trying to achieve that final cycle
I see. I
is the last letter of the Greek alphabet, right?
see.
So I liked it, and that's what I stuck with. And so in that, I kind of told it, we had this long conversation about my likes with video games, with comic books, with yoga, the Gita,
Mhm.
and all that, and simulation theory, and all that just kind of mixed together. And so when I started messing around with the music, I was just having fun, and I was like, "Well, make me a theme song for this character that we built."
Mm.
And it did, and I really liked it. It was like shades of Linkin Park when I was growing up, and so I was like, "Oh wow, that was cool." And then I put it away. I didn't do anything with it, and so I made a country album next, which was really cool because it was very personal. I never released it; it's just for me. But it's about growing up in Hatch, small town stuff like that. I really like it. I listen to it, but that was a personal project.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jackie even said, like, I think working on that kind of like opened up a lot for me. It was a lot of past stuff.
Mhm.
And so after that, I liked the theme song, and I was like, well, make me one more song about this, about meditation. And so it did. And I was like, wow, that one's really good. And I showed it to Jackie. And like, she liked it. So I'm a fan of albums, always have been. I'm not like a single song kind of person. I love an album.
Yeah.
Tell me a story in the music.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so I started talking to it and said, hey, let's develop, a 12-track album with this style, this theme. I really like it. Lo-fi, hip hop, trap, mixed all that. And so we ended up developing this very unique style of, you know, trap, lo-fi, hip hop with simulation theory and yoga vibes and lyrics kind of just melted in.
Yeah.
And there's tracks like Third Eye Online that I really love, Breath of the Ancients, and so it just deals with meditation, pranayama, chakras, all the yoga, classic yoga stuff that we get from the Gita and from the sutras. I've loved it. It's all I've been listening to lately. I really fell in love with it.
I love it. I love it. No, I listened to it on my hike and I'm like, it's so good. It's so good. And
Yeah.
it like gives you the it's really good. Like the lyrics. So how do they pull the lyrics? Like how did that come? Like did you write it and plug it in or did you have like thoughts being bounced and then it forms like you just thought like I'm just so shocked. It's so good. Or did you put the whole Gita in there and it's chopped up something and like I'm like
So so the first song or two was developed individually. And then once we had that idea, we kind of ran with it and developed, I told come up with an album structure because the album should start slow, just like a yoga sequence, right? Start slow, get some ebbs and flows, right? Bring you up to a peak and then bring you down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice.
And so I've really loved practicing yoga to this stuff. It's very fun to hit a lot of the lyrics contain inhale, exhale. Um, so yeah, it just developed this whole yogi trap style that it's been very interesting. But yeah, so we developed that first album, and I told it to remember the style, and then the next one was the Gita. And this is my personal favorite just because of what's behind. It's a it's an 18 track album.
Mm.
I'll release it next month, I think. But it's ready to go.
Oh,
Uh,
so exciting.
18 tracks. Each track is devoted to a chapter of the Gita. You know how I fell in love with the Gita
Oh, yeah,
training.
yeah, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
it's so good. Yeah.
The the Gita was the book that I was sent to your training to read. I have no doubt because I finished this simulation theory book and I'm like, man, I've got to learn, the history, the tradition, the yogi tradition, and then the Gita was it. It's just like there it is, boom, and now translated plain English, but in Sanskrit, it's amazing, it's beautiful, and so each song of this album is going to be dedicated specifically to a chapter in the Gita, and my favorite is the one with Krishna's transfiguration. It's a uplifting song. It really gets you going. It's about stuff like that. I think it's called A Thousand Suns, uh,
Mm.
which is actually a Linkin Park track name. I'm a big Linkin Park fan, and they did a song called A Thousand Suns. But um, I can't wait to put that one out. I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. This has been really, really fun. Just finding this avenue. Who knew that my musical side was this? I personally listen to a lot of like country and rock and hip hop and stuff. I never listened to this style of music,
Hmm.
but
It's
it's been amazing. It fits so well.
yeah, it came out that way. That's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
And it's such an inner exploration.
So the process that I use is I use three apps to do it. Um, One is ChatGPT because that's where I have all my conversations. I come up with lyrics, and it even gives me production notes, right? And so this is important when you're plugging it into the other app that's going to actually make the music.
Mm.
And so ChatGPT, I'll ask it for lyrics and production notes.
What is a production note? See, this is above my head.
And yeah, and mine too, though. That's the crazy thing is I really don't understand what's going on. I'm pretty much facilitating a conversation between two different AIs, and
Okay.
I'm the middleman.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so the production notes is how the music should sound, what's the tempo, what's the tune, right? Um, and it gets really specific, which is awesome because I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
And when I started showing it to people at the gym, Spencer really enjoyed it, and he had this idea to tune it to 432 hertz.
Okay. That's the love hurts. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's And so there's this big Spencer's big into conspiracy stuff. So there's a big conspiracy that the the hertz the frequency of the music has changed, right, to kind of control people. But
That's what Demon Hunter is, like the K-pop music is.
really,
That's why you gotta watch it. It's so deep.
I'll have to do it. Um,
I'm sorry, that's
no. I A friend of mine, and I wouldn't. He's like 48. I trained with him up in El Paso, and he walked in with a K-pop Demon Hunter shirt, and I was like, dude. But he's got young girls too. It's the younger generation, I think, that really loves this.
yeah, it's so good. Like the lyrics are so good. So good. Okay. No, but
Uh,
it's as good as your AI music. Like it's like that it's so good. Like they're both so heart opening. Like it's, you know?
yeah, and so that's the thing is that I went in and told it, and okay, now, can we make a song in 432 hertz? And it said, yeah, and it tunes all the rest of the instruments based on A equals 432, and everything else is tuned based on that. And so now everything that's coming out is going to be tuned for 432 hertz. It's going to keep that. I made a whole trap one. That's the latest one that I put out, is just specifically trap, because I really like the way that sounded. But I'm excited about it. I really love it. I don't know if I can feel the difference in the frequency, but the music has been really, really fun.
It just seems like a good way to like we're in a place where creativity is so hard to express now, right? Like it's like to tap into that. Our brain's not the same as it used to be because of the society we live in. I really think like that to be able to express creativity in such fast way because we all have like ADHD now. You know what I mean?
And we're overloaded. We're overstimulated with so much content.
So to be able to express it, like instead of going to piano lesson and like sitting and like, now like I mean, now it's even piano lessons, like it's for access for the rich. Like for us to be able to just dive in and express our creativity so freely is amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's so funny, like sticking with simulation and like the Matrix. You remember the Matrix where they plug them in and then they just download, and he's like, I know jujitsu now. But that's kind of like what it is now. It's like, oh, okay, I get this app. It's like, oh, wow, I can make music now, or I can write a book, or I can make a video, which previously a lot of people didn't have access to. I think people are really like starving for creativity in their lives, and if they take that chance to express themselves, I think it will lead to a place that they'll be happier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then discover themselves more in a way, like you even said it, you're like, I didn't know I like this kind of music.
Yeah,
Like, it just like opens us up. And then that's kind of like the Big Toe book, right? Like there's so much information out there.
right.
So much. So when I listen to the podcast, I haven't read the book or anything, like the glimpse I got is from your like your, YouTube that you shared, new podcast that you shared. So and then you and Tucky like talking about it but like for me, it was like everything, everywhere, all at once is just what's kept coming. Like, you know what I mean?
That was a great movie too, and it really dove into a lot of these things that people are starting to understand a little bit more now.
Yeah. So do you feel like with all that, okay, so I don't know the ending of your book, but I would love to, is it the same way? Like more we break the code, then we jump into, we create more places, and then it becomes low entropy. And then
Right.
all of a sudden it's love like that, like we're all, you get what I'm saying, like in that movie too, like it's just like you have to like break the code and pop into another place in another dimension or portal and express yourself. I don't know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. You have to, again, and this is stuff that's in the Gita, stuff that's been around for a really long time, stuff that this guy's saying now, 2,000 years later or more. That we have like the gunas, right? When we talked about the gunas are that's that code. That's the thing that we've got to break past and see that there's deeper reality past what's in front of us. And then he kind of his book is about his experience in other realities, other dimensions, and he describes it as a consciousness ecosystem, just like we have an ecosystem on earth of consciousness, right? There's in every reality there's ecosystems of consciousness, however it's developed in that reality.
Mhm.
um, but it all leads back to, again, like meditation, stuff like that, reducing your stress, reducing the hate and all these stuff that keep us tied to the world. That's, like karma, right? And yeah, he was essentially giving yogic tradition in a 21st century dialogue. But um, at the end of it all the simulations is God, and,
Mhm.
and that's the end goal, is to be there, to be with God. You already are. You're a piece of God, and nothing exists except for God. He makes up everything. Again, these are sentiments that are echoed in the Gita, which is why I was like, man, this is the book I was looking for. And Tucky's so awesome. She knew right away. She was on it. She's just awesome when it comes to literature.
She is amazing. She's amazing. She's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And then I just loved how like when she did the workshop with the Yoga Sutra and the Gita, when she did
Yes.
the way she, because it gets like I've been to a workshop like that before, and like, where they're teaching the sutra and the Gita gets involved, and then like it just becomes this like almost like a technical debate,
Oh yeah.
like, and like I don't know, but she just like flawlessly confused us, but like tied it back to the confusion that we are all God. Like, right? Like we don't know how to put it together, but it is, right? Like
Hmm.
she just, yeah, she knows how to flip it around and bring it to all into circles. So she's just so beautiful. It's so good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I also think you have a talent of, for me, it's hard to not get technical with these things. Like when I read the Gita, I just felt, like for like when you led your workshop, I hope you continue because when you led your workshop, it like I understood more. Like that's like fourth time or fifth time being present in that kind of environment, but you brought the depth to it. And then now like being into the Jyotish, I'm starting to see how the Gita plays into it. So I'm getting another flavor of it, but just the book itself, it never landed. Like the Yoga Sutra, like I landed because of my memories, my memories. But like the Gita just felt so, mm, so dualistic, where my growing up, it comes from nothingness. You know what I mean? It just felt kind of like I don't I don't understand, But so thank you for bringing that deeper concept into place.
Hmm. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was again, I like nothing happens by accident, right? This is all we created that experience, not just you and I, but everybody who participated. We created that with our intention. Like you said, it didn't exist. It was just kind of up in the air. And then all it took was a few, focused people. And then look at what happened. It changed my life. I guaranteed it's, one of the greatest things that I've done is take that and really be opened up to these lessons that help me deal with life so much because we're plugged in. Whether you like it or not, you're plugged in right now, right?
Yeah.
And you will get there and we will see it, but we've got to make it through here with that knowledge too, that we are, immortal souls, that we are just a piece of something greater.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's just like quotes that like oh open up a page. Like that's how I've been using like open up a page. And now it's like in the storage, but like open up a page and then a quote would come up, and that's how it would be healing. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many things that it would just open up, or I'll find a quote from like my Jyotish studies from the Gita, and I'm like, that's, that just had so much, and when
Mm.
you get to the tendency and the neuroses that we have, and seeing it tied to the Gita, like the obstacles. I don't know if how do they, yeah, I don't have my book now, but I'll just, never mind. How we create our obstacles with we don't have obstacles to reach our goal, but we just fall for the lesser clear path.
Hmm.
And then I don't know what chapter it's from. I have to look it up. I'll send it to you. But do you remember, well, what are some of the quotes that hits you? Maybe hits you from the Gita that stand with you right now?
I I love, I think it's chapter 8,
Hmm.
where he talks about meditation, uh, like specifically what to do when you're dying. Like I like wow, just so enthralled with this stuff. Um, and so that one I really enjoy. Um, but my absolute favorite part is the very, very end. And I love Krishna's disposition. I feel like Vyasa read the sutras and understood them better than anybody ever, and then wrote this love letter, using, the figure of Krishna, but it's this love letter to humanity, and in the translation that I like to listen to, Krishna tells Arjuna at the very end, he's like, these are the last words, dear one, that I'm going to speak to you for your spiritual fulfillment. He says, reflect on them and then do as you choose. And this is God's attitude towards us, right? God's just here to observe and see what we build, right? See the magic that we create with what we have. Um, but that one sentence is just so freeing to understand.
Yeah.
To give you everything you need to do whatever you want, and then He's going to let you choose.
Yeah.
Not say He, and I don't mean He. God will let you choose, because in the book too, God is beyond the duality of sex, right? And like Alan Watts says, sophisticated Hindus and Christians and Jews and everybody, we understand this, that the figure of God is a representation of a power that is beyond us, right? Um, but yeah, that's my favorite line in the Gita. And then I think after that, the translation I think is real beautiful. He says, "You are very dear to me," and then that ends the sequence, and then also Sanjaya, the what Sanjaya says at the end, because that is Vyasa. So the narrator, the character Sanjaya is Vyasa, the author, and then Vyasa or Sanjaya says at the end, like, these are the words that Krishna spoke to Arjuna, and it says the wonder of them just makes my hair stand on end. And when I think about the glory of Krishna, he's overjoyed. It's beautiful, absolutely. I'm butchering it now, but it's amazing.
No, no, no. We could see it, and I can't wait to hear what you compiled together with um the music, because you feel it, and it's just like to see that come in, like, in a creative expression,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I'm curious, how are you using are you listening to your new one that's coming out, the Gita one, and are you practicing yoga with it, or what? Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm huge on Spotify, but since I started making this music, I have not listened to anything else except for stuff I've made. I mean, why now I'm listening to other people's expressions, but I can now like narrate my life with my expressions, right? So my Spotify next year, I'm already telling you, is going to be all of my AI music, because you know, whether or not anybody else likes it, I love it, and yeah, I'm practicing to it. I listen to everything before I put it on Spotify. I've probably listened to it 100 times.
There,
Um,
sorry to interrupt. I just get so excited because the reason this is so powerful, I feel like this is a manifestation tool. Like it's a tool for us to create like a little crumbs for us. Like you're listening to what moves you, like your Venus, like what moves you and what like, you know, gives you that connection to God or a liberation or whatever. And then you're putting it, and then now you're putting it back in this, like we're controlling our noise, you know? Like I just feel like it's a very powerful tool. And I'm just so glad you got your hands in it and you could share it because when I went to the Joe Dispenza's retreat, the in the advancement retreat, he had us make a video of our like instead of putting like pictures on like on a board for a manifestation board, he had us put like a creative video of our future life and then like our music that we want. And then right before we're dozing off, a lot of us are probably on our phone. A lot of instead of dozing off, we're gonna watch our own video that we made.
I like that. I'm going to write that down.
Then like and he'll share like people that kept watching their video when you're about to doze off and manifesting that future in the future. You know what I mean? And he was saying like how right now people doze off in front of TV and we watch pharmaceuticals when we're like in that theta state, we're watching these like pharmaceutical shit on our faces, you know? And instead, why don't we control it? So I just think it's a beautiful tool and it's awesome that you're listening to it during your meditation and your practice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's been awesome. And I completely agree. Like you have to be careful about what you're putting in and where you're setting that frequency because like my TV now, it doesn't I don't even have to be watching a show and it'll show me pharmaceutical ads. It's just on the screensaver. They have this really nice screensaver with like fire and it's like, nice ambient noises. And then every so often, here comes an ad. Here comes an ad. So it's everywhere. And like this music is like gospel to me, because we don't have a lot of, especially for yogis in America, there's not a whole lot of positive expression, right? There's nothing that there's no songs about the stuff that I believe and the stuff that gives me peace. Um, and I've been loving it, just hearing, remember to breathe, remember to meditate, remember about, all these things that we study and that we strive to achieve. So yeah, it's been so much fun and I hope more people do it. That's why I'm not trying to keep the secret. Like I'll tell you exactly what I do. I take it from one app, I put it into the other app, and then the music comes out. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just a positive way to, yeah, like control our noise and put what we love into our own frequency so we, you know, are able to connect to ourselves. There's so much noise, and I just think it's so, and then I get to get a glimpse of your depth through your music. Like I get to hear your depth, through it's amazing. And I'm like, wow, what an amazing, like what? Like how did this happen, like my heart is moved, and then it sparks this conversation and it just, and I can't wait to hear your guitars, like I didn't have that intimacy, you downloaded it and I want to experience that sound, and it's so cool, it's so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, thanks, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark. Do you have other stuff to share? And I'm curious, and then yeah, I just wanted to share about, yeah, your Kundalini fusion before we go. Because are you doing it?
Yes, yeah, I'm teaching Mondays right now. So Mondays at 6:15. And yeah, we're doing it. I'm jumping off of the kids' mat. We're doing yoga the same way that we do jujitsu. We're not highly traditional, right? You saw us, we observe certain traditions and we're respectful, but we're very laid back, very family oriented. So like last night, Jackie was teaching and I'm sitting outside watching the judo class, and one of the girls gets done with judo and then she walks into the yoga room, because her mom is in there, right, or her dad's in there, and I'm like, wow, you could never do that at a regular studio, but That's not the vibe we're going for.
Like, that's not the vibe. You have kids, and it's like you want it to flow and be accessible, and yeah, it's amazing. So you're teaching at 6:15. Excellent.
6:15 on Mondays, yeah, 6:15 on Mondays, and then jujitsu the rest of the time. But hoping once we build it, we'll add more classes and stuff. I'd love to add some morning things, but right now we're just looking to help people heal their bodies with yoga. So many people come in with either they've either had some issues health wise, or they want to get a little bit more flexible, a little bit more healthy, and this is a great way to do it. So send beginners our way.
I'm just curious though, just curious because you're such a meditator and you are really into the pranayama practice and such. I'm just curious, are they into it too, or do you share it? How do you feel with like clients? Like, are they more into the physical practice or are they wanting to go into meditation, or does that come after with your folks? I am curious with the martial arts world.
What's cool is, yeah, we've got a lot of people that have come in and they're open to it. It's a mix right now. I say it's like 50-50, but we've got a few students who really love the pranayama, and we're getting some awesome work as far as breath work is concerned, meditation. We're teaching kids to meditate. We've got a few kids that are going through some stuff, again, health wise or mentally, and meditation helps both. So yeah, I'm steering like really close to the Kundalini side. So we're doing a lot of pranayama, we're doing a lot of meditation, we're working on chakras. We're trying to keep the flavor of Kundalini in the vinyasa.
Yeah, it's such a good class. If you guys are in cruises, like you have to check it out because every time I get to take your tuning in, just even the tune in and
Yeah,
the
long bar is my favorite.
hold and it's like no one pushes us like that much, that push of like holding your breath, and it's that enough is enough to go experience Mark's class. So it's so good. It's so good. And I wish I could go take it. But I love you guys, and you guys are so awesome. Keep sharing your light.